Well, g'day, welcome to the bunker and welcome to not just New Zealand, but the Southern Hemisphere, the Aston Martin DB12. This is the very first car. The global launch has just happened. I like new cars, but this is newer than new. In fact, it's so new, it's actually a pre-production car, so we won't be driving it today. Instead, we're joined now by Luke Neuberger from Aston Martin Auckland. Luke.
Hello, Sean.
Thank you. Every time we chat to you, it's about something very special arriving, and you've known about this.
I have,
and he's been smirking around the office, the cat that's got the cream. You wouldn't even tell us it was DB12. You called it, what, DB11 replacement?
Next generation, but I mean, that's a great way of summing it up, Sean. This is the next generation. You know, we've often referred to our cars as Grand Tourers. Well, there's no grand in this new car. It's all about Super Tourer.
Grand is the word too. Last time we chatted about a car, it was Valhalla. You always have the special cars.
We do, yeah. I mean, I think, Sean, someone must be watching our videos because we got the world exclusive on this one. I mean, the global launch has only just happened.
How did you get this here?
Oh, I don't know, I just have to say big thanks to Aston Martin, but it's a big year for Aston Martin, Sean. Not just for us, the Giltrap group, for Aston Martin Lagonda. 110 years, we're having a 110-year birthday, right?
But the DB alone is getting old.
75 years of DB cars this year. And of course, it's 30 years, marks 30 years of Aston Martin here at the Giltrap Group. So thank you to Aston Martin for sending us this car.
Let's talk DB, because it's a special lineage. I mean, Sean Connery drove a DB5. The DB11 has been immensely popular in New Zealand. A hard act to follow. I need the lowdown on the DB12 straight away. It is something very different from the front. The DB11 was sort of svelte and, well, understated maybe. This is brave.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, the design of this new car is breathtaking, and you know, it's got so much more presence. It's got a much larger grille. These new Aston Martin Matrix headlights.
Not much larger. It is huge.
It's massive.
That's a statement.
It's up to 40% more cooling, and you need cooling because it has more.
I want to talk about the horsepower, the torque and everything in a moment. Right now I just want to focus on the style, and I can't get my eyes off this front. I love the light cluster. We can see a similar shape to the DB11, but they're much bigger. The DRLs are beautiful. In fact, those lollipops are like we saw on the Vulcan.
That's right. Yep, so from the Vulcan to the Valhalla and the Valkyrie, that's a signature now for Aston Martin. And it's echoed through the front headlights, but it's a fabulous design feature. Those are the DRLs. And of course, I mean, everything about this car is, you know, I guess we could say we've been perhaps a follower in terms of technology. Aston Martin now is a technology company. We are class leading in terms of what we've put into these cars. We've got Matrix headlights, which set the standard, and we've got some more really cool stuff which we'll get into.
That's funny because you're getting excited about the tech. I'm still loving the craftsmanship of Aston Martin. I mean, look at these bonnet creases. Normally you might see two in a bonnet.
They are.
That is beautiful.
And do you know something which took me by surprise, Sean, is the grille. I mean, you touch the grille. The grille is metal. There's no plastic on this car. If it looks like jewellery, it is jewellery.
That teaches you a thing about Aston. A lot of cars, remember growing up, you'd have a car, that's chrome. Actually, no, it's plastic made to look silver. Aston Martin have a thing. If you touch it, it is exactly what it looks like.
What you think it is. Yeah,
notice too, this is the
gorgeous.
first Aston with the new badge.
Yeah.
The new wings.
New badge.
Right. Hey, you talked about horsepower. Before we go back and look at some tech, I want to see what's under the bonnet. I always love this moment, Luke, opening the bonnet of an Aston, especially a brand new Aston, and there I see it for the first time on this car, DB12.
That's right.
Right there.
Yeah.
So it is confirmed. It's not the DB11 replacement. This is DB12. And straight away I'm noticing how far back this engine sits. Tell us about this motor, Luke.
Well, the motors, I'm glad you asked, Sean. 4-litre V8 twin turbo. You can see the turbos sitting there in the hot V. 680 PS, okay? But 800 Newton meters of torque. Now this is really important because it's 100 Newton meters more than the old 5.2 litre V12, twin turbo V12. So this is a monster of an engine.
I'm trying to work out the maths. It's a lot more. And if you don't geek out on cars like Luke and I, torque is the flash word for grunt. It's what, and V8s do it better. Turbo
it's
V8s
what you feel.
do it much better.
Absolutely right.
And that's just doing the brake horsepower. That's 671 brake horsepower.
671.
That is a lot.
It's a lot, yeah. Yeah, it is a lot. So, hey, look, but that's not the only thing. You can see there's a little bit more bracing here.
That's not a strut brace, that's
a
girder.
So the strut towers are all new, all redesigned. Of course, we use an aluminium bonded chassis, which Aston's become famous for, but all the engineers have really put a lot of work into stiffening this chassis, because a stiff chassis really gives you great handling.
Well, not that I do it, but if you've got a strong core, it lets you perform better. That's the same way.
It's exactly the same.
It lets the suspension do its thing.
It's exactly the same.
And I mentioned before too that engine is sat well back. So technically you'd call this a front mid-engine sort of layout. So all the weight's between the wheels.
You've got a transaxle gearbox, which is also key. In the rear of the car, we have, for the first time in a DB car, we have a e-differential. And look, these are all really key things and key messages on this car, because gone is the Grand Tourer.
I was waiting for that.
Okay, gone is the Grand Tourer, and here is the Super Tourer. I mean, this is a supercar levels of performance, and class-leading levels of performance.
Wow, so, because it has been sort of the GT, that's no longer Super Tourer. Of course, we're associated with racing cars, but this is actually more powerful than the old Super Tourers that used to race here. That's how powerful this is. And so that is the sort of the grunts happening up front. We've got this new styling, but it really gets interesting when we get into the cabin. Can we be the first to sit in this car?
Yep, absolutely.
There is never a time where I don't love hopping in an Aston, especially a brand spanker. And the thing about this, I'm noticing straight away, you've still got the traditional, you can smell the leather, you can see it's hand-built, but the tech in front of me, this is next level for any Aston ever.
It is, yeah. So, new technology in this car, obviously, and that's what we're singing and shouting about, because, whereas previously we've been a bit of a tourist, now I really think we're a leader. I mean, this is the absolute
grand tourist.
Yeah, a grand tourist. This is the cutting edge, Sean. So, I mean, where do we start? New steering wheel. It's a gorgeous new steering wheel. There's a new seating position. Everything's about driver centricity in this new car.
Driver centricity, I love that. Actually, on that, I know it's sort of the new step of a Grand Tourer, the Super Tourer, but I'm sitting in this and I'm over 6 foot, but I'm sitting low looking over. It feels like I'm in a race car, genuinely.
It is, yeah. I mean, they've worked a lot on the driving position in this car. It is quite different to some other Aston Martins. You've got great visibility out of the front. But I mean, let's talk about this interior for a second. Twin HD screens. You've got a touch screen in the centre console.
So
here.
it's a touch screen.
It is a touch screen.
That's a first.
It is a touch screen. We've got 3D parking cameras, 3D parking systems.
Can I dare joke this?
Yes, go.
It has been a touchy thing with Aston, so there wasn't a touch screen, but now there is.
We've copped a lot of flack for it, but I mean, look. Aston Martin, they took the best designers from Apple, they took the best designers from Microsoft, and they have been working on the graphics and just the touch and feel of the system for quite some time.
You talked about it before, from going from a tourist to a leader, and that's probably the thing I noticed the most. This actually feels truly cutting edge. Not in a sales pitch sort of way, it really does feel like the most modern layout. The centre console is awesome.
It's gorgeous, yeah. Everything's at touch. You've got the new steering wheel. It's a much thicker steering wheel. It's got an incredible feel to it. Look, the stereo system, I have to mention the stereo system. It's a world first. We've partnered up with Bowers & Wilkins. It's a 15 speaker system,
15 in this cabin.
15 speakers in this little cabin. It's a 1,170 watt system. So if you're into music, I've got the car for you. Now, but let's also talk connected car, because I mean, that's the expectation now with these cars, is that the car is really connected to your phone and to an app. We've got the Aston Martin app now. You can lock your car, unlock your car. You can see if your car's being broken into. It'll tell you. The app will tell you if your car is the battery's running flat.
On that too, this doesn't just need your phone to be connected. The car is also connected too.
So it's got a 3-year subscription with an eSIM, and yeah, it's using the cell data, and it provides over-the-air updates for software, etc., etc. So this car really is cutting edge.
Well, yeah, we keep going on the cutting edge, and wait till you see this car in the flesh. You'll see what we mean. It honestly, it feels like 2 generations forward. That said, though, I said the race car thing before. These seats, these are carbon fibre seats, and I actually fit in them too.
The carbon sports seat is amazing. So we saw this in the V12 Vantage. Look, it's not going to be for everyone, but by God, it looks good.
Mate, if I can fit in the race seat, I'm feeling good. But obviously you can get more traditional with that Aston Martin,
You can.
beautiful bridge of wheel leather. And
That's right. Yeah. So I'm pleased you mentioned that. We use the best heights of bridge of wear offer. But we have two other seating options. We've got the Sport Plus seat, and we've got the standard comfort seat. And you know what I love about the standard comfort seat? Is the broguing. You know,
Oh, yes.
The broguing detail. Oh, it's to die for. So, look, lots of new tech in this car, and we're pretty proud of it.
Now, the thing about Aston, and we talked about this before, is everything, if it looks like something, it is. So these knobs on the air vents are metal. The carbon fibre is carbon fibre. It's not just a sticker that looks like carbon fibre. And I love these shift pedals. They are huge and they are metallic.
Great big pedals.
Aluminium, yes?
They are aluminium. Yep, you could option them in carbon if you wanted. Look, the steering wheel should always have pedals attached to them, Sean. It just makes for better ergonomics when you're driving. You always know where up or down is. You don't have to reach around to grab the next gear. And that's really defines this cockpit. It's everything in this new cockpit is where it should be.
Now, unlike me, Luke has raced a car, so he knows the true value of those pedals when you're pushing on. And you say this car will do the thing on the track.
It will, yeah. Whereas the DB11 perhaps was, let's say, closer to a Bentley GT in its positioning. It's a little bit softer, a bit more of a Grand Tourer. This car really is, closer to the supercar side of things.
One thing I like, Luke, is I see right here in the middle of this console is the drive select, like we saw on the DBX 707.
Yeah.
Can we just touch on the drive modes?
It's very cool. So you've got all these drive modes. Of course, they're going to change settings in the EDIF, in the gearbox, in the throttle. It's going to change some of the traction control settings and all that sort of thing. But yeah, we've got GT, Sport Plus, and for the first time, we've got a wet mode, which is great. I mean, it's such a great feature.
Yeah, it's sort of handy because when a car is this quick, you need it to be able to look after you when things get slippy. It is a rear-wheel drive.
It is, yeah, rear-wheel drive. Aston Martin, we're famous for our door handles, but I'm going to show you this new trick.
Hello.
It's called the Aston Martin Handshake.
And there's actually little hand grips on the inside of that. Fantastic.
That's right.
Yeah, it's funny. I get out of this, Luke, and it feels shorter, more squat, more purposeful than the DB11. What dimensions have changed?
So it's 25 millimeters wider in the front. The front track is quite a bit wider. The rear's wider. The grille's larger. I mean, it just has got a lot more presence.
I think presence really is the word. You do see
the wheels.
The lineage, though, when you look at the back, you do see the lineage from the DB11, so which Aston Martin have always done is they move things on. So they've kept some of those things, but this crease, this wheel arch crease here, again, purposeful.
It's gorgeous. 21-inch wheels now is standard on this car. We've got a new ceramic brake system that's available on DB12, wasn't available on DB11. Performance.
I want to talk performance because
I know you've been waiting for this. I know you've been waiting for this.
So numbers.
So yeah, 0 to 100 in 3.6 seconds. So it is quick. It is really, really quick. Yeah.
And top speed, in case I wanted to explore that?
326 kilometres an hour.
Now the goal of this car they're quite serious about the Super Tourer thing, was about this being class leading. And you're punching against some serious opposition. How will the DB12 stack up?
Oh, look, I think it'll stack up, but more importantly, it'll stack up with 2 back seats. This is still a 2+2. We do have, for small children, we've got usable back seats in the back, and that's what I think will set it apart. It's got class-leading performance, class-leading handling, and hey, it's a usable Super Tourer.
Yeah, so top trumps and space for the wee ones. Nice. Gosh, I've got so many questions, Luke. I'm still amazed that the first DB12 in the Southern Hemisphere is here in our bunker. What is this colour called?
Illuminite silver. Looks good, doesn't it?
It's so Bondy, mate. It's awesome.
It's very Bond.
The DB12. When are we going to have one that maybe I could drive?
Yeah, well, you'll be top of the list. Look, end of the year. I think end of the year will be, our demo should arrive November, December. And of course, we can't wait.
I can't believe we've got the first one here. This is awesome. Thank you so much. Man, what a car.